So you're a freshman or sophomore?
Neither. I'm actually a junior.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Student.
Welcome everyone to the third installment of the ConcordXp podcast. Today we have Will, aka as Pancake, as your guest today. He is part of our Rocket League team, and he is also the captain of the Rocket League team. If you want to just like kind of introduce you to like the camera and to us a little bit about yourself and like why you came to esports and like where you're at now.
Yeah. So my name is Will. I'm from Durham, North Carolina. I love Rocket League. I've loved it since it came out, and that's why I came here. I was recruited here to play Rocket League, and I'm just happy to be the captain of the team. It's so much fun. I come out here and play Rocket League every day.
Cool. So you're a freshman or sophomore?
Neither. I'm actually a junior.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay,
I'm a
I didn't know
transfer
that.
student.
Okay, so what university did you go to before here?
I went to Johnson Community College in North Carolina.
Okay. Sweet. So like when you like was recruited here, like how was that process? Like of getting like recruitment and whatnot?
It was pretty cool. I basically just got a DM from Austin one day out of the blue, asking if I wanted to talk, and I bought his pitch, and then I toured like 2 months later, and then I think another month after that I was committed here, and then I came.
Yeah.
It was really seamless, honestly.
Because I know like I know Austin and a couple other people said like you were like the #1 like recruit like for Rocket League.
Oh yeah. So Stay Plugged In is a company that organizes recruiting. They run a bunch of these tournaments at schools, and you get like points based on how well you perform at these tournaments. So I had, in the previous year, I'd gone to 2, I won 1 and got 2nd place in another one. So I had the most points on the spin leaderboard. So that's why they're saying I was the #1 recruit. It's not like I was the highest rated player or anything like that.
I guess you just had the most points.
Yeah.
It's kind of
a relatively limited player pool.
Right.
Yeah.
So you have been playing since it came out, and it came out what, 2015?
Yeah, 2015.
2015.
Actually started in 2016, so 6 months after release. But yeah.
So you pretty much like know like the in and outs, and pretty much been playing it ever since.
Yeah, unfortunately.
You just said you loved the game. Now you're saying unfortunately. I get it. I'm the same way with Overwatch. Overwatch is definitely, I have a love-hate relationship with that game because I played it when the game came out. Like I was like in the beta when it came out, but I did it on Xbox, and so it was like a totally different like experience when it came to Concord. I came to Concord just because it was close to where I live, and at the same time they were like just starting the esports program, so I had like no clue like they were even doing this. I had heard nothing about it, and I had a friend of mine at the time tell me like, oh, you should do it, I know you like video games, just go out there and try, maybe we'll see if you like it or not. And so I was like, oh, fine, because after they like kept bugging me about it for like days, and finally I was like, fine, I'll do it. I'm not gonna get accepted, so I'm just gonna, I guess, go just for fun. And I didn't even have Overwatch on PC. Like I had to buy it when I went to go like quote unquote try out. So, so like when I got like the message saying like, hey, we really liked your just liked your vibe and liked your like the way you played the game. Would you like to like be on the team? And it was just like no other tryouts. It was like, would you like to be on the team? I was like, sure, why not? Because I was just a freshman, so I really had like no clubs to be in. Like esports was like the first club I was in, so I was like, yeah, sure, why not? It would give me something to do like outside of school. So that was my thing. But like ever since, like I've been playing it competitively for like almost 4 years now, and it's just like a love-hate relationship. Like I love the game. I played on my like off time, like my free time, but it's just like I don't know, just like I'm just like the type of person like I hate this game. This game is bad. And then next thing you know,
and
I'm
you
like,
wake up and you're back on the next day, no matter what, without fail.
Yeah, no matter what.
Exactly.
And I'm sure you're the same way with Apex. I hear you in there, like, I hate this game. Apex is so bad.
One game I'm like, I absolutely hate this game, and then the next game I'm doing so good. I'm like, I love this game.
I love this game. I'm the best at this game. Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, I have kind of a funny story with that. So I was never a competitive Rocket League player. I just played it
For fun?
Kind of for fun. I just got on, randomly queued up on the ranked ladder, and that was pretty much it. And then I went to JCC, and then my dad actually teaches there, and one day he sent me an email. He was like, "Hey, Will, JCC's starting an esports team. Do you want to join?" And I was like, I have to.
Yeah,
like,
of course.
I've been playing this game forever, and now I get a chance to actually try it. And yeah, I just like, because, you know, I had already been playing the game for like 6 years-ish at that point, 5-6 years-ish, and like I played it, but I was kind of done with it.
So this was recently when he was like telling you.
This was 2021.
Oh, okay. So yeah, pretty
It was
recently.
the first time I started playing Rocket League competitively.
Like competitively?
And it's just like, I don't know, it just sparked something. I was like, wait, I love this. This is...
Because you knew how to play it already, so I'm sure it's just like really nothing, I guess, to learn. I mean, I know like playing it competitively and then like playing it like collegiately are like two different things. So it's like competitively, like you just like love climbing the ladder, like, you know, you're like, because I know a couple people on the Overwatch team, they just like play comp like all day long, and then like, you know, they're like the highest rank, like Tavian, one of our players, like he is GM2, and he's just really good at climbing that ladder. And then it's like when we go in scrims, and it's totally different, like outplay, like outlook on like the whole game and whatnot. Like you get punished for like making the same, like the smallest mistake, and it's like, and you go on Overwatch ranked, and you can just like kind of do a throw pick and like Roadhog or something, and you just win. Like it's just easy.
Yeah.
So it's like I totally like the I guess the transition's different, I guess, but I love it too. I love Overwatch competitively.
Yeah, and then just by like random chance, my school team decided to go to a Stay Plugged In tournament, because there was one only like 2 hours away.
Yeah.
It was at Catawba Valley, and we ended up getting second place, and that's why I got so many points. And then I decided to travel for another one in the summer, and like frankly, I had no idea there even was a leaderboard for points until Austin told me about it that winter. Like, so it was just like a series of sort of crazy coincidences that I even ended up pursuing esports, but it's great. I love it.
I guess it was the same way for me, because like I grew up here in Princeton, West Virginia, like all my life, and you know I was like, I loved video games, but I kind of would watch esports here and there, but I wasn't really like too into it. And then literally my freshman year here, like my first year, they just miraculously started to do an esports program. I was like, I mean, I guess it's just a really good coincidence that as soon as I'm here, they're like starting the program for the first time. So I was like, I guess it was fate, I guess, to be here.
Born too early to explore the world, too late to explore the stars, but just in time to play video games in college.
Yep. No, that was me for sure. And then now I'm doing my last semester here, and yeah, I've been doing it for about 4 years, which is like, I guess I loved my time playing esports here. I made like a lot of new friends, made like a lot of new experiences, like, you know, meeting people like scrimming and whatnot. I really loved it. I don't know, what about you with Apex and like scrimming and whatnot?
That's the same thing with like Overwatch, like playing scrims in Apex and then playing like ranked in Apex is like two different things. Like obviously, like when you're playing ranked in Apex, it's just there's a bunch of different skill levels when it comes to ranked, and then you go to scrims where everybody is there's either gonna be like you and another team's like the same skill level, or scrims is like somebody's gonna be like way higher skill level than you.
So crazy rank disparity. It's kind of like the Wild West out there.
I know that's definitely Overwatch for sure, because like I think like ranked is like people just do like ranked for fun. Like they're good, but they do it for fun. Like they really don't have like coordination, like communication with their teammates. So just to have a fun time, but like do it like with a reward at the end, like of like losing or winning, like points or whatnot. So, but like we do scrims, and like everyone's like so coordinated. You know, people know like the pathing of like all the maps on Overwatch, and it's like totally different. Like, I mean, I just like today saw a TikTok of like an Overwatch League player, and he was saying, is there like, so he was like reacting to a comment, on his like Twitch, and he was like, "Is there a difference between like Overwatch League players and then like top 500 players?" And he was like big difference. He was like top 500 players are just like, it was just easy, like he said, like brain dead, because like they just do it just for fun. And then you go like Overwatch League, and it's like you got to make like every single thing like perfect, like calculated, or else your team just loses because you're making like so many different like small mistakes, and they like capitalize on that. And so I don't know, just like a big difference. And I've noticed that when I've been here like at Concord and like scrimming and whatnot. Like I go and I'm in ranked, I'm like on a winning streak on like 3 or 5 like wins in a row. And it's like, oh, we're about to do practice for a scrim, and I go, I'm like in such a good mood, and then like I just get absolutely like demolished, and I'm like, dang, like way to throw my like high ego out the window, because I'm over here like winning. The next thing I know, I'm losing because I'm just like, the team is just better, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah. I was one day I was playing arenas and I won 12 straight matches in a row, and then the next game that I queued in, like they were just better, and they just demolished me, and I was like, well, I'm done for the day. Yep, I'm done for the day.
And that's like my biggest problem. I try to like keep that ego like in check, because like I don't know, just like I have a high ego sometimes, and then I just like, it just gets thrown out the window because I'm thinking so highly of myself. I'm like, man, I'm better than these guys. And then like where I think so highly of myself, I start thinking I'm like better than them, so I start playing recklessly. And then I notice I'm like pushed up like way ahead of the team, like the team's back here, I'm up here trying to get like the kill or whatnot, and I'm dead. And I'm just like, dude, I could have won that. And then I don't know, it just happens over and over again, and I'm just like, dude, I suck. I just need to like go back with the team and just like, I don't know, keep my ego in check.
So one of the big things I always talk about with my team is trying to play the game with a student mentality instead of a competitor mentality. Because when you go in trying to play as a competitor, you get hot-headed, you make bad decisions, you have an ego like you're talking about.
Right.
But versus if you go into every match, especially, you know, scrims, rank, like, yeah, you're going to get competitive when you have your matches. But if you take extra care everywhere else to be always thinking, always learning, and just to remember that you're not, you know, just playing a mindless bot that's another human sitting on the other side of another computer trying just as hard as you are.
Right.
Like, I think when you play with that mentality, it makes the game less frustrating, which is a big deal when you play as frequently as we have to play. And it means you learn faster and you improve faster.
Yeah, that's like with me in Overwatch, is like I always like try to like look at it as like a like I'm because like I think we all at some point in esports we like it would be nice to be a pro. Like, I mean, imagine just making like the big bucks playing the game that you're like best at. But it's like sometimes like with me, I was at that point, but then I realized like, you know, that's not going to be me, because I'm decent at the game, but I'm not like pro level decent. So like when I like
pro level decent, okay.
Well, pro level, like I'm not like pro level at all, but I don't know. It's just, I don't know, when I'm like playing the game, I have to like think of it as like a different mentality. Like I'm just someone who's just like doing this for like, I want to win for sure. Like I'm going at it as like a winning mentality, but at the same time I'm just like, man, I'm just like here just to get the dub, move on to the next game. I'm not really here to like, I don't know, eventually be a pro. So I'm not like, so like I get like so high ego, and then I just have to like, I realize it, I have to like check myself and bring myself like way down on the notch. Because I'm like here, max volume, and then I have to like turn it down to like probably minimum volume for me. And I don't know, just Overwatch, because like Overwatch is like one of those games that's just like, it's so like tilting. I'm sure like Rocket League and Apex, like all competitive games are so tilting. And just Overwatch is just so tilting because like, I know in like Rocket League, you can have someone that can like carry and like score, I'm assuming score all the goals like for you. And it's like with Overwatch, you depend on your teammates.
I think just by virtue of having 2 less people on each team, you can carry a little bit harder in Rocket League, but I mean,
like 1v1s or whatnot, or like 2v2s?
I guess I just mean Overwatch is 5, Rocket League's 3. So,
right. Oh yeah, true.
Your impact should be 33% instead of 20.
Yeah.
At a bare minimum.
I get what you mean. Yeah, it's just, I don't know, it's like, yeah, you like as like DPS, you can 100% like carry the game. Like if you like use your ults, you're just out DPSing the other DPS, and like they're constantly like out of the fight. And it's like, yeah, you can carry the game, but like sometimes it's like if the tank isn't like tanking, like they're just like being a third DPS and like just like getting in front of their faces while like you're back here and like the support can't heal them, and they just like die. And now it's like only like 4 squishies and like a whole team. And it's just like, that's the fight. You have to either back up or just sit there and let them kill you, so that way you can just reset for the next fight. So it's like, I don't know, it's just like Overwatch can be just like, ooh, so tilting sometimes. Especially like yesterday when the new season came out and everyone's like playing it. It's like the worst times in Overwatch to play a game is like the beginning of the game, like the season, and then like the end of the season, because at the end of the season everyone's like trying to get like their competitive points, they're trying to get their battle pass like maxed out, so they're just like trying to get games quick and like, and so they're like throwing, and I'm over here just trying to have a good time. It's like, yeah, season ending, but I don't, so what if I don't get the battle pass, like the end of the battle pass, and these guys are like just throwing games left and right. I don't know, just Overwatch can be so frustrating sometimes. I don't know if you have anything for...
I hope that was therapeutic for you a little bit.
Yeah, I'm just like getting it out, yeah.
Yeah, that's why I love 1v1 so much, because it's just you and someone else who wants to beat you and nothing else. It's just... For some people, it's the most frustrating game mode because they don't have anyone to blame.
Right.
I hate Rocket League players. That's why I play 1v1.
Yeah. So you only have, I guess, yourself and yourself only to blame.
Yeah. And at the same time, you always know if you win, it's because you outplayed the other person, and there's something like really cool about that. It almost makes it like a little bit of a combat sport. You know?
Yeah. I mean, Overwatch has 1v1s. I mean, I don't play it, but it is nice to like win those 1v1s a lot.
Yeah.
Well, so like, out of like all the like, how much mechanics is there to like Rocket League? Like, just like summarize. Like, what would you say like the hardest would be for Rocket League?
I gotta say, and I don't even think this is controversial, Rocket League is by far the hardest game that we have at Concord. It's not even close. There's so many details. I mean, just by virtue of it being a 3-dimensional physics-based game, there's nothing else like that. There's so many permutations that you can do with the car and with the ball that mastering it is impossible, you know? Like, I'm almost 6,000 hours deep and I'm not even close to mastering the game. As far as what's the hardest thing to do, the hardest thing to do that I can do is chain resets.
What's that?
Which is, so I'm gonna have to take like 3 steps back before we can talk about it.
Okay.
So Rocket League has a flip mechanic, right, where basically you can jump the car into the air, and then if you jump again within 1.5 seconds, you get a double jump.
Okay.
And you can use that double jump as a flip, and it's one of the core mechanics of the game, how you generate power on the ball, how you move around the field.
Right.
But players discovered that if you never use your first jump, so if you were to say fall off the ceiling, drive off the inside of the goal, you can ramp off of it. You get a jump that never expires, and you can use it whenever you want. And it's a really great way to outplay defenders because the flip, basically the idea is you use your flip to change direction to catch the defenders off guard.
Right.
And if you have one that never expires, they never know when you're going to use it.
Going to use it. Wow.
But a couple years ago, players discovered that not only could you get this by driving off of the walls or like the map itself, if you hit the ball in just the right spot with the bottom of your car, you gain a flip back that you're not supposed to have.
So was it like,
you want.
I guess like taking advantage of like exploits?
Yeah, it's not a bug, but sort of an unintentional feature of the Unreal Engine that the game is built on.
That's what to say. Do you think it's like an engine like thing?
Yeah, that the ball is counted as, you know, a solid surface, and the only rule is if you hit all 4 wheels on a solid surface, you gain your jumps back.
So it counts. Oh, gotcha. It counts as like you're back on the ground. So okay.
So if you land on the ball just right, you trick the game.
You're tricking the game.
You're back on the ground, and you get a flip you can use forever.
Huh.
and then, so that's what they call a flip reset. Well, kind of self-explanatory. You're resetting your car's ability to flip.
I imagine that's hard to get all 4 wheels on the ball.
The ball is not much bigger than the car, so the margin for error is small. It's very small. And so then what I was talking about, which is chain resetting, is where you do this in the air sequentially multiple times. You get your flip, you aerial away from the ball, you flip back towards the ball, landing on that same precise spot to get your flip back, and you can do that over and over again. Move throughout the field in the air.
That does sound really complicated.
Yeah.
And hard to pull off. Like, I don't think, like, yeah, that sounds just, like, really hard to pull off.
So,
and you said you haven't even mastered that, right? And you've got 6,000 hours into the game.
Yeah, so that's definitely a mechanic. I mean, I think I probably logged 200-300 hours just practicing this one mechanic.
Wow.
I don't know. It's kind of therapeutic in a way. You just sit there and
just over and over and over. Yeah, to get your, like, just get. I guess your hands, like your thumbs, just in on it. I guess. Yeah.
So now I can usually get up in the air and hit double resets or triple resets. I've even hit a couple quads. Never in a game. That's coming.
Yeah.
And it's so much fun. I mean, you literally look ridiculous. Your car's going boink, boink, boink. Like,
yeah, it looks funny.
Yeah.
I can imagine, like, as the other team, they just see you do that.
They like, yeah.
They just stand there.
And yeah, it's pretty funny. I definitely, if you pull out the flip resets against like newer players, they're just like,
just like watching you.
Please come down. I want to hit the ball.
That's funny.
So it's really funny.
Yeah, I remember playing Rocket League with a couple of my friends on Xbox, and I mean, we just did it for fun. And it was like the only game that I know that it made me like shout. Like I remember I was in my friend's house, we were playing on his Xbox. I was like shouting, I was like, oh my god! I should have had that, and I was like thinking it's really loud in their house, and it was like really late at night. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm probably like waking up the whole family because some of you are like yelling and screaming. Because like Overwatch, I'm like, man, I missed that shot, but I'm not like yelling like I am at Rocket League. Like Rocket League, I remember like had me yelling.
There's something about it, man. It feels like a sport.
It does feel like a sport.
I love it so much.
It feels like a sport. Because I mean, trying to hit the ball into the goal. I guess it does feel like a little sport. It does. Because I mean, it's just I just yelling at that TV like, man, gotta get that ball, and they're like screaming. Yeah, and I think it's the same thing with with Overwatch, because I know Overwatch has like a lot of like workshops, and I know Rocket League does based off because it's on Steam and you can download maps and whatnot. And I know like Overwatch has like a workshop, and they like literally like have it like for like any mechanic you could do it on. Like I know for like me and DPS, like me and Luke. Luke's a little bit different because he does on like characters like Tracer, that like Tracer's all about like keeping your like blinks. Like you don't want to have like 0 blinks, because like what you're trying to escape, you have nothing, like no like blinks to get out. So he's like trying to like say like manage his like blink usage, and he's like, and there's like a little mechanic with Tracers, like if you like blink and then melee at the same time, you could I'm like the character's at that chair, and I'm about to hit the melee button, but I'd hit it as soon as I blink, it like counts it as like at that enemy instead of like me like being like right here. So it's like he does that, and then like with me, I'm more like hit scan. So literally all I do is I just go on like practice my aim. Yeah, that's literally all I do. Like there's like tons of workshops on Overwatch where like the AI like move like realistically, like kind of similar to how like a player, like online player would move. And I'm just doing it just like over and over and over again, making sure like I'm like hitting their heads and not just their bodies, because like I guess that's like similar to Valorant. Like Valorant, you want to make sure you hit the heads. You don't want to like hit the body shots, because like if you hit the heads, they're going to die quicker.
There's a huge premium for hitting headshots. Oh yeah, in all of these games.
And it's so satisfying. So it's like
that's why I play Bastion.
Oh yeah, Bastion, and Bastion's interesting because like you can hit their heads. Wait, they can't hit your head because your head hitbox is behind you now.
Well, in turret mode, he can't hit headshots.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
But his like other form, he can like hit headshots because they changed it to where like it shoots like slower, and it's like 100% accurate. Like it's not like it's just like a random like spread like it used to be.
Oh yeah.
So it's like he could still hit headshots. I remember like when he used to be able to hit headshots in turret mode.
I dabble in a little bit of Overwatch. I got a couple hundred hours on that game.
Yeah, I see you in there playing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember. Do you remember when Bash had a shield? He used to have a shield.
I did not play when he had a shield.
That was like the old day.
I started a little after that.
That was like beta. Like he had like a shield right in front of him, and Blizzard was just like, yeah, it's fine. It's just
it seems fair.
Seems fair.
And balanced.
And I remember like during the beta, like all the play of the games would either be like a Bastion or like a Mercy, because like the Mercy
5K resing.
Yeah, just like, and back then Blizzard thought that was okay too. Like just imagine you put all your utility, all your ults into a team fight, and then the Mercy just like,
I love playing Mercy. At my community college, since we had such like a small esports team, I was actually on the Overwatch team.
So you was on two teams?
Player.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so that was fun.
I was on two teams here for a little bit. I was like a sub for the Smash team, and then I was like the starter for the Overwatch team. But I was like going back and forth between like practices. Because like Austin now has a rule. It's like under like special circumstances, you cannot be on two teams.
So you're telling me you're the reason I'm not allowed to be on the Overwatch team?
Probably. I mean, I know we have a couple players on two teams, but due to like special circumstances on two teams. But like I guess Austin would because I would be in practice, and then their practice would like line up with our practice. So it's like I would already be in practice when Overwatch would be like about to start. And we would have like a scrim or a match or something, and I would have to leave right in the middle of like Smash practice because Austin said Overwatch was my priority since I was a starter, and so like I would just be like on 1v1s, just like training like combos on Smash, and then I would just have to leave mid practice to go play Overwatch. So honestly, probably the reason you're not allowed on the Overwatch team.
It's okay. It's alright. I can just focus on Rocket League anyways. It'll be fine for my mental health.
I know we talked about like in other like episodes about like your like Apex Pass. Has there ever been like a favorite moment of yours when you was like playing it, like I guess competitively? Have you like always played it like somewhat competitively, or did you only start until you like?
No, I didn't really play Apex competitively. I just played casual games. I started playing Apex competitively when they recruited me to come up here. So it was like, well, they recruited me to come up here, might as well, start grinding the game out. So I did that, and by doing that, I went from like 500 hours, because I started playing around like the end of season 7, the beginning of season 8. So I got to 500 hours before I came up here, and ever since.
What are you now?
I'm almost 2,000 hours.
Yeah.
So like I've gained like over like 600 some hours just playing up here. But I think some of my favorite moments is when I got my first 5K. I got my first 5K. I was like in the middle of a match, and I kept looking at my damage score. I'm like, oh, I got to 3,000, then I got up to 4,000. I was like, can we get a 5K? And then I got my first ever 5K. Never gotten it again. And then, so yeah, I got my 5K, and then I've gotten like 3Ks a bunch of times. And then another favorite moment of mine is when, like I said before, I got like my first like 12 straight wins in a row. Because Apex is such a tilting game.
Right.
Like, yeah, so I got my first 12 wins in a row, and then I was in the middle of a comp game, and one of my teammates died, and then they just rage quit and left the game. So it was just me and my other teammates, so it was just a duo, and then there was still like
Trios.
15 squads left. Yeah. So we were in the middle of a comp game, and I was like, hey, we can do this just as long as we stick together. And we ended up winning the game. It was a very frantic end of the game, but we ended up winning the game.
Guess you didn't need that teammate after all.
No, I guess, yeah. But yeah, we ended up winning the game with just 2 people. So I was like, this is why I love the game. And then, next match, I was like, I hate this game.
Right. I don't know. It's just like I was like thinking. You said you almost have like 2,000 hours since you've like gotten here, so you've got like 1,500 extra hours since you've been here. And I was like thinking, and like you have 6,000. Do you know what you were before you came here, and then like I guess now, like have you seen like a big like difference of like hours you put in?
Not a ton because I was always a grinder. I've basically played about 2 hours of Rocket League a day every day since I was 13 years old. I've actually upped that recently. I probably logged about 1,000 hours in the past since the start of the fall semester. But I mean, I was already logging more than a healthy amount.
I was like thinking because I know like Steam and like how they track hours. It's like it seems like you I don't know. It seems like to me it's like because I have a lot of hours in a lot of games I play. And it's like I don't know if it's like too fast or what, because I remember on my Overwatch account, my main account, it only says I have only 600 hours.
So I actually know one of the big distinctions there is a lot of games. If you look in game, it tracks only the time spent in a match versus Steam logs the total time with the game open.
So you could just be like idling in the main menu and it counts that as like hours spent.
You could be AFK, right? Okay. Like if you were in training or something, Overwatch is not going to count that as hours played.
Because I have a lot of hours in training. And like
so that's why your number is going to be so low.
Right. Because I was like, man, I've been playing this game for 4 years, and I go and like check my rank, and I'm just like looking over my hours, and it says because I'm almost at 700. I'm like, I've put way more hours than just 700. Like to me, it seems like really low. And like I tell like fellow players like on other teams, I'm like, how many hours do you have on Overwatch? I'm like, I have about 700. They're like, only 700. I'm like, that's just what it says on BattleNet. I was like, I think it's way more than that. Like, I should easily have like 2,000 hours, easily. But I was like, I wonder how they count hours, like, because I should have like a lot of hours in that game.
Yeah, I think the difference is time spent in match versus time spent with the game open.
Right, and maybe they count. I haven't looked at it yet, but I don't even know if they count like custom game hours. I don't know either. Because like for scrims and whatnot, we have to make a custom game lobby, and that's another big chunk of my hours. Is just like because I'm practicing 2 hours every day on Overwatch, and then plus how many ever hours I was playing like even before practice. So I'm probably getting like 3 or 4 hours a day on Overwatch, and it only says I have 700 hours like total. And
you do the math, it doesn't add up.
I'm like, that does not add up. Like I should have way more hours. And so I'm like, I don't know. It's like every time I'm like booting it up, I'm like, man, what is my actual like hour count? I don't know. It's weird because I noticed with Steam is like, because like I play a lot of Dead by Daylight. But most of the time, I'm just like there sitting in the main menu, like creating my like loadout for before I go into a match. And it says I played like 30 hours within the past 2 weeks. I'm like, no way.
That's just the time you spent with the game open.
So yeah, it's like I've noticed like Steam is like really picky with their, not picky, but like just really just like they just throw out the hours. They're like, yeah, you got 2 extra hours. You got 3 the next day. 5 the other day, and it's like BattleNet's like, yeah, you just got like 30 minutes in the past week, nothing big, You just, I don't know, it's weird. And I always get so frustrated. I'm like, man, if only Overwatch showed my true hours, it'd probably be like 2,000 or something.
Yeah, I know my actual hours in a match in Rocket League is like 2,000, give or take. But I've spent
so many hours like practice and whatnot. Because I know there's like a lot of practices like workshop maps you guys do. Because I know I saw you use like one of you like boost into like the circles or whatever.
Yeah, ring snaps.
Ring map, I see you do that a lot.
Those are fun.
Yeah, just Overwatch. It's just so, I don't know. Overwatch is just, it's just so unique in like every aspect, even including the hour count. It's just so tilting. I don't know. But I guess I'm happy the direction Overwatch is going, because I remember when like I played, because like the majority of my time being here I played Overwatch 1, and we had like a content drought of like almost like 3 years with no content. So basically my whole entire time playing Overwatch, we had nothing new added to the game other than like the Halloween update, the Christmas update, and just like a couple skins. And so it's like now that I'm like, we've had like 4 new heroes within the past like 9 months, and I'm like, I don't know what to do. I'm not used to this much content, like, and then we're getting like supposedly like next season in season 4, was supposed to get like a new support hero, and it's just like all these like new content, like the Overwatch is like pumping out. It's just like I have no clue what to do with myself. There's just so much content. It's like I'm just not used to it. And I know Apex, they try to do like a new like legend like every other season or every season.
Every season they come out with a new character.
That's crazy.
They just released the new like, I don't want to say the event, the kind of like the gameplay like season season trailer today. I watched the trailer and
Is it a new legend?
not a new legend. They didn't show a new legend in the trailer yet, but they announced like team deathmatch.
Right.
Like they announced the new gun Nemesis, which is the 3-burst energy weapon, and then a bunch of new cosmetics and stuff like that. And then in like the in-store season event, after you like open like all the packs and complete all that stuff, you get heirloom shards. So like that's the thing that like you buy all the things for the heirloom shards.
Like addition of the gun, are they like taking away a gun? Because I know sometimes like Fortnite, they like add a gun and they like take a gun away. So they're just adding it to the collection.
Yeah, I think they're just adding it. And then they re-swapped like the legend. Like the legend things now.
Like the layout?
Yeah, like the layout. So instead of having like 2 support legends, we now have 4.
Because remember it was Loba and
it's Loba,
Lifeline.
Like Loba and Lifeline.
Who is it now?
I know it's Loba, Lifeline. I think Gibby is another one. I think they put Gibby as support
They
now.
made him a support now? Mm-hmm. Really?
It's like they redid the layout like the defense legends like before like Caustic and like Watson and stuff. They made like the skirmisher. Like they did they redid like the whole layout.
Similar to like Overwatch, because remember Overwatch we had like when the game was like first came out we had like 4 categories. We had like support, tank, and then DPS was split up into offense and defense. And then I remember like when the role queue update came out with like the 2-2-2. It was like just like DPS, like they just grouped up like the offense and defense into just like DPS. So that's what it sounds like to me, like what they're doing. It sounds like they're just like making it like I guess easier to I guess like group up. I guess
it's consolidating.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like to me.
And like I kind of like that too because I remember I was complaining about how the game only had 2 support legends. Like out of like the whole like I think it's like 13, 14 legends, like there was only 2 support legends.
Yeah.
So like you obviously like need more than that. So like now instead of 2, like we have 4. So I think that's gonna be a whole lot better. And then also with like them like uploading the event trailer today, I was reading the comments of the video and everybody was like, this is going to be the best season like that we've had in a while. Like Apex just came out with like new content, like it's bringing like new life to the game. Like the game's going to like do so much better than it was. So like, yeah, I think this new season's going to bring like a lot more people into the game.
You said you moved from North Carolina, and so you had teammates then, now you have teammates now. How's is it like a drastic change at first, or was it just like really nothing?
I don't think it's that hard to adjust, honestly. I mean, it takes, give or take, probably a month of playing together to really like get settled in with your teammates.
And know how they play and whatnot.
Yeah, but it's nothing crazy. It's mostly just like getting on the same page. Yeah, like you said, figuring out how each other play. But it's not the end of the world. Shout out Carl and Ethan. They were really cool guys. So it wasn't too hard to adjust. We got along from day one, and then it was just, playing Rocket League.
Yeah, well, awesome. Do you have any other thing to add on?
But also, my teammates are following me here. Well, one of them is
oh yeah,
Taylor. Yeah.
Oh yeah, Taylor.
Yeah,
I see Taylor.
So
Discord.
we were teammates for like a year at JCC, and I mean we love playing together. We're like BFFs outside of Rocket League.
Is he coming next semester?
And he's coming next semester
Sweet.
to play Rocket League.
Heck
so
yeah.
we got a little pipeline going from JCC.
Heck yeah.
Bringing the band back together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I don't think we're gonna end up on the same roster, but it'll just be super dope to have him back up here.
You'll see him and hang out with him, so it'll be nice. And of course, you guys. I mean, you'll
We'll play.
You'll play together.
fun,
Yeah, definitely for sure. Well, I think that's it. You have anything else you want to add?
No, not really.
No, you good? You good? Okay. Well, thank you again, guys, for watching the third installment of the Concord XP podcast. The other 2 episodes with our director and the captain of the Valorant team are currently on the Concord YouTube channel. Please go check them out and drop them a like as well. And thank you again for watching.